Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another session of Soundclash the Clampdown over here on twitch.tv/ArvanElron. It has been a while. As you can see, we got a new intro. Yay! I've been uh, working with Arv behind the scenes to ensure that we can update a couple things in this intro. Now that Iori is present, it only stands to reason that we make sure that the intro is finally updated to show the cast in its present entirety, and it still looks very dope, and I'm very excited to be able to get into more Soundclash shenanigans with you all. Some new developments in the process of making the game have come up that I'm very delighted to share with you all when the players get to look at it and experience some things. But um, before we get into the game, as usual, some housekeeping notes for the channel. A reminder that you can support all of the cool things that happen on this channel in myriad ways. Including following Gregory Wilson on Twitter, which you can find the link for at exclamation point arv tweets. Joining the Discord, where you can chat with all of the lovely people in this community, and learn all kinds of wonderful things, including when we're going to have more streaming content on this channel in the future, which you can find about at exclamation point arvcord. Um, exclamation point arv shop is where you can find all kinds of lovely merch for some of the content that takes place on this channel, which presently has Infinity and Beyond stuff. But again, I keep hinting that at some point I'd like to do some cool Soundclash stuff. But if you want to support the channel by wearing some cool stuff and letting people know all of the cool things that you've discovered on this channel, you can find some cool stuff to wear at exclamation point arv shop. Exclamation point Arvtreon will give you access to the Patreon that through your support of which allows us to do cool things like this one, like this stream. A reminder again that it was through all of your lovely assistance through the Patreon that I can stream on this channel on a regular basis with some level of technological consistency in the first place, for which I thank you all very much. So if you want to continue supporting the channel, continue supporting cool new content on this channel, you can do that by subscribing to the Patreon. A reminder, even though we're not doing speculate things, that you can also find speculate as well, exclamation point speculate, which will also give you an opportunity to um, promote all of the cool things that take place on this channel, as well as on speculatesf.com, where I co-host and co-GM alongside Michael R. Underwood and Gregory Wilson. A reminder that those things are very cool. We are presently in the middle of Girl by Moonlight Fractal Spire, a Girl by Moonlight actual play sponsored by Evil Hat, which is going very well. But your support keeps helping us continue pushing that stream to new heights. So please support Speculate as well. I'm forgetting some things. Aha. Exclamation point Icarus for the Icarus and Jelinek graphic novels by Gregory A. Wilson. Award nominated graphic novels by our very own Gregory A. Wilson, which you should definitely check out. And of course, exclamation point Grey Shade Chaos, which will give you information for the upcoming Grey Shade trilogy, including the game. I'm very excited about all of those things. I have finished, like, actually giving like my feedback on the first novel in that trilogy. It is very, very cool. I'm just gonna let you all know when you get your hands on Grey Shade, it's gonna be quite an experience, and I'm very excited for you all to get your hands on the book. I'm very excited for the game when it comes out. Everything that is coming together in that respect is very, very neat. Exclamation point library for Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. Are 5e Adventure and Sourcebook. I'm not in it, but not only is Greg in it, our good friend and band member of Accordial Eclectic, Amar Amaraz, is in fact in Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. So please check it out. It's very very cool. And of course, as always, exclamation point BLM. On this channel, we still assert and affirm the value and importance of Black lives in the United States and everywhere. I hesitate to bring up some of the weird stuff that has happened in the news very recently that can be somewhat troubling and upsetting and frustrating, even for me when I'm not presently in the United States. But not only is it important to continue doing our own personal um, consciousness raising in the pursuit of improving the lives of marginalized people everywhere, but it is important to actually do the work on the ground and support the people who are doing the work on the ground. So, exclamation point BLM to find resources that you can not only um, learn more about the movement, but find ways to support the movement actively. And exclamation point help now. It's always important, as we say on this channel, for you to reach out to someone when you need help, to reach out to someone when they need help. I can say again with my own from my own personal experience, it is always very important to have someone that you can talk to when things are not going well. And this is not only a reminder that this community is a place where you can reach out to some of the lovely people here and find ways to help yourself when you are feeling down, but that if you need resources to help you find ways to do that for the other people in your life, for your family and friends who are also struggling in this present time, please check out those links. And without further ado, um, I will get into some other stuff as we get into game. So let me, at this point, interrupt all of these lovely people who are probably having this very intelligent conversation that I just totally interrupted because I'm a cruel and terrible person. Um, as I come over
So,
here, hello everyone. Say hello
hello.
to the members of
Hello.
A
Hello,
Cordial
hello.
Eclectic, who I'm sure you can hear this time. I have no idea what happened the last time. I'm very sorry. Well, I have reason to believe part of it was the fan in the corner, which is now off. So I'm gonna turn into Brandon Stew for the next couple of hours. But I'm very excited that you all can see and hear the cast of this evening's game. Who I am going to ask very nicely to introduce themselves by telling us who you are, what you do, and who you will be playing this evening, starting with Victor.
Hey guys, I'm Victor. I use he and they pronouns. I am a actually I'll save the whole plug for it. I am the beat. I play Eva Perón.
Nice.
Don't cry for me. I'm done.
Thank you very much. Next, Iori.
Happy time zone chat. Kusano Iori, Clarion West class of 2017. I am playing Ishikawa Alice, who is one of our melodies.
Mm-hmm. Next, Katie.
I unmuted myself correctly and perfectly the first try. Hello, my name's Katie. She, her pronouns. I am playing River Song, your rhythm and controller of bees.
Ah, we're gonna get to those bees in a little bit.
Definitely no consequences.
And last but not least, Amr.
Hello, hello. I'm Ramirez. I am playing Nechmat al the other melody. Both of us use they, he pronouns, and yeah, I am excited to see what shenanigans we get up to with the bee that might or might not have enough oxygen. That
Yes, that. We'll figure out what's going on with that bee very soon. But yes, so to qualify why we're talking about bees, we should perhaps recap what happened last session, um, which began with the newest member of the group, Alice, going to the park, trying to have a normal afternoon instead of going through it, and instead, um, was going through it even more this time, when a noise anomaly suddenly appeared on the scene, started transmogrifying random contents of the park, and was very quickly and very effectively put away, like immediately resolved by Alice singing directly to it, which did put the noise anomaly away, but did leave some residual weirdness in the space, including a solid silver bench that seems to be alive, um, and dozens of bees that used to be a swing. Um, so that was fun. Some firefighters appeared on the scene attempting to resolve the issue, but were too late. Took some uh, took some statements and started like treating some mildly injured people at the park. At which point, the rest of the band appeared, took whatever they could as evidence of whatever weirdness had taken place in this park, and returned to Ava's apartment. At which point they discovered Quinn Devlin and another guest who three of the four of these people actually have not met yet. So I will start with Ava. When you got to this apartment, your daughter had just told you that she had to let these two people in, and you see a well-dressed woman and a sobbing Quinn Devlin in your living room. What is your very first response?
Okay, I hate to be this person. How pretty is this woman?
If you weren't that person, I was going to be that person.
I mean, she is actually an astoundingly beautiful, dark-skinned woman in like a maroon pantsuit.
Oh, I'm so gay. Yeah, Ava sees Devlin and like puts on like the like most angry mom face, and then eyes track. Sort of square up the shoulders a little bit. I have a park bench over my shoulder, so I'm kind of flexing just a little bit more.
this whole bench just like,
yeah, a whole bench like over like showing off. It's sexy to be strong and
adding a
Victor's
new meaning
opinion.
to literal bench presses.
It's too sexy
Yeah.
in here.
oh my god, I want you to.
Oh no, I have to roll something.
Oh my
now.
god.
I just wanted to be
Okay,
hot.
You need to be honest with me, Ava. Is your intent to impress this woman?
Yes.
A sway roll is a sway roll. I'm very sorry. Do you have any dots in sway?
I didn't, but I literally, when you gave me that 6 XP, I was able to put it all in that stat.
Nice. So you have 1 dot in sway.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially, I thought like the whole thing was like Ava's starting to actually be part of community action. It's time to be able to talk to the community instead of just being.
So your position is risky. Your effect is standard, but I will give you +2 because you are strong enough to lift this bench, and that is the thing that you are using to impress her in the first place.
Perfect. I think that is is that a great success, or is that a strain? I forget about if 17 is like the
no, that's a stunning performance. Oh my god, that's the very edge of a stunning performance. Oh my god.
Muscles like a brick, and they never stop. Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my god. I'm not sure if I'm impressed or I'm mad. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, hey, didn't see you there. Welcome to my home. I'm Ava.
Hmm.
And then put down bench.
Everybody else doesn't notice, and you barely notice because, like, she's obviously trying to keep a straight face, but you can tell that she blushes and then just kind of like straightens up, like adjusts her collar, clears her throat. Um, Hi, good evening. I'm sorry to have just barged into your apartment at this point in time. Um, by the way, while all of this is happening, I would like Alice to give me a roll to notice a thing. I believe
Ooh,
that
dear.
roll should be. Uh,
I have 2 dots in observe.
yeah, I believe it should be observe. Your position is controlled and your effect is limited.
Let's see. And do I have the option to do those as D12s?
Um, this would be a D12 or a D20 plus 4. You get to choose which one.
1d12 plus 4. Look, last time I observed something, we strained, and Alice is still very much reeling from that.
Yeah, from
So,
having a lot of observation, yes.
yes, let's try to avoid knowing too much today. That was a 16.
Okay. Um, very nice. 12 plus 4. Cool, brilliant. So,
So glad I didn't use the D20s.
yeah. Um, you've met this woman before. It takes you a while to realize, how do I recognize a woman? How do I recognize this woman if I've only just been here? And then it dawns on you, oh, this was the woman who was trying to talk to me in the coffee shop. You still never got her name. This is the first time this is the first time you've taken a proper entire look at her. She looks very well put together. She looks like she has industry money. You know what it looks like when somebody has industry money. And that puts you off a little bit.
Well,
She seems very stern, but you've noticed now that you've all arrived that something has happened that you vaguely presume has something to do with Ava introducing herself that may have kind of warmed her to you all a little bit. So while you're noticing that, she's still speaking to Ava. I'm very sorry again for barging in. It was very important for us to be able to have a chat with you all. We kind of had to pull some strings, as it were, for you all to come together in this way in the first place. So, time is of the essence. We literally only have maybe 20 something more, maybe 23 or 24 more minutes before Mr. Devlin can no longer join us. So we should probably make it quick and allow him to say his piece before he loses the chance to. Alice, while that conversation is happening, you glance over at the other person, the gentleman sitting in the seat nearby, who is like sobbing his eyes out, like this grown man, ugly crying. You are the first to notice two very peculiar things. One, you notice that he notices you out of the corner of his eye. Just you, like you see him glance at everybody, and then when he glances at you, that's when he like finally like straightens up and like wipes the tears from his eyes and like tries to make himself look a little bit more presentable. But he never gazes at you again for the rest of for the entirety of that time. And you're also the first to notice that it does not seem like he is actually physically present. It doesn't seem like he's corporeally present. For some reason, you get the impression that he is a hologram. And that's when you notice that there is like a small shaft of light that is appearing from somewhere in the room, but you can't determine from where or from what very immediately yet. No one else can see this yet. Um, and uh,
Alice turns to Ava and goes, do I do I need to be here? I think I'm going to call an Uber. I am going to call an Uber now.
um, I assure you, this is the lady speaking again. I assure you, if you still need to leave, we will pay for your transport and everything. But you should at least hear the offer that we're considering before you go.
I don't think I need anything from you. Alice pulls like a friction pen out of her purse and flips it at the hologram.
Yeah, it passes right through him.
And I don't like people who don't talk to me in person.
uh, Devlin very nervously says, "If it was possible that I could be here, I would, but then it would put Ava's daughter in danger."
Okay. Okay. Those are the magic words. Alice, you can leave whenever you like. You are not obligated to be here. However, you definitely did a noise thing, and so magic is kind of the thing that's been happening around here. You so if you want to deal with more magic not by yourself, you could definitely stay here. But again, you don't have to be here. You definitely don't have to talk to these people if you don't want to.
Victor, are there family pictures up on the walls of Ava's apartment?
Everywhere. They have a progression of Andrea from little girl all the way up to like last month.
Yeah. There are so many pictures in this house. And Andrea literally bought like a digital like picture frame simply so she could take a picture of herself like backflipping every day for a year when she was like 13 or 14 years old. And there is a picture frame of just like the progression of that backflip, like 365 frames of that backflip, just like hovering over like a literal like I want to say 8 by 16 portrait photo of Ava and Andrea when Andrea graduated from elementary school. Like just a bag of pictures. Anywhere you look in this building,
Alice sees
just
the
so
one
many photos.
that's the elementary school graduation. She recognizes the colors of the banners. And she turns to Ava and goes, Wait, are you Andrea's mom?
Yeah, my daughter's right there.
Alice points at the graduation picture. Look, third row from the back, that's me.
Oh, sweetheart, I remember you.
Wait a minute. Like, Andrea's like squinting at you. Alice? I hadn't seen you in ages. I didn't.
Well, they got me a haircut and stuff. So it's okay. You don't have to make excuses about not recognizing me. There are mornings I don't recognize me.
Oh my god, like, it's been a while. Andrea's like kind of like short circuiting with glee in this moment.
Well, I'd love to let you two catch up. I don't know if you want to do it in front of these two strangers, one of whom is not here. Did we want to cut to the chase so that they can
reverse
leave?
The lady clears her throat. Andrea just kind of rolls her eyes and leans back against the wall. Um, and like Devlin, very nervously, not looking at anyone at this point, just kind of says, "Maybe I should go first." Um, I wasn't gonna ask for anybody's help. We were just gonna cancel the goddamn thing. I was just gonna call it a loss. Um, the very next thing that was literally supposed to happen is that we were supposed to give you all the um cancellation payments for not being able to finish the clash, and then someone decided we still needed to have a show, but that can't happen right now because and at this point he turns to the uh, other woman, just kind of squints a little bit, and then turns back to Ava and goes, "If there's anyone on Earth I think cares less about whether my life is in danger, it's probably you. But you're the only people who know the other thing, so I'm just gonna say it. Weirder is trying to kill me."
Nachma, we knew this, right?
I feel like we knew this, right? I mean,
Yes, Nakmat, you had a vision of this literally like weeks upon months ago at
Yeah,
the club,
yeah.
just before you tried to escort Stella and the horoscopes out of the club. You had like this like enriched vision of um Devlin talking to a woman that you did not know.
yes,
About
yes.
the fact that his life was theoretically in danger at that point. Since then, several of Devlin's colleagues have all died or gone to the hospital, which is a thing that you know from the news.
Yeah. Ava's like, yeah, we kind of knew, which is
Yeah.
what proves that maybe Nachma cares the least if you die.
That's not like, yeah, no, I mean, I do care a little. Hey, I wouldn't have. No, I did that. I did that for the kids more than anything else. Yeah, no, no, no.
And you know what? I and you can like if you're looking very closely at Devlin at this point, you can tell that he wants to cry and he's fighting it. And he's like, "You know what? I feel you. I probably deserve it. Um, Sometimes I can be a scumbag."
Along with their entire list of people that they want to kill.
That's where it gets more complicated. Some of those people don't even deserve it. Some of those people don't even know what's happening. They're suffering from a mistake even I wasn't even supposed to make. But it's happening. I'm not even asking you for my sake. You don't give a damn about me? That's cool.
Yeah.
But
What do you want?
I mean, you've been seeing the news. Unknown assailants are freezing people's houses all across the northeast of this hex. At some point, someone's gonna have to do something, and I'm pretty sure the only person who can do anything is y'all. I can't even trust the cops with this, because they're not equipped to deal with what they have just classified as an act of terrorism. I'm supposed to go to the firefighters about this. What the? And there's a moment where you can tell Devlin is about to like go on this like very weird spiral. Um and like he turns to the woman and stops and just kind of like mulishly like falls quiet again. And then the woman speaks up by saying, before Quinn starts getting lost in his thoughts again, let's actually give you the offer. And um, she takes out a red envelope from her breast pocket and gives it to Nakmat.
Mehmet, without breaking eye contact, will open the envelope,
Hmm.
and then once it's fully open, look down and take a look at it.
Hmm.
Eye
Two,
contact with Devlin specifically,
hmm
not with the woman.
two things that you notice before you look down at the envelope. The first thing that you notice is this envelope. It feels warm, it feels dry, but it smells like dry ice cracking. It smells like sitting in a room full of just like
Like
nitrogen.
nasty CO2.
Yeah.
Grody.
And in the envelope is just two separate objects. One is a very small piece of paper that says "I see you," and the other is a photograph that was taken at an airport. Looks like Sonata 6 Airport. From the window outside a terminal. It is facing the like it is looking at the back of an airplane. Like you can clearly see the airplane number on it, AX668. And the only things in the shot are the window and the tail of that plane, and a pink paisley scarf that has been tied around the handle of one of the benches in that terminal. That's the only thing in the photograph. And the woman continues speaking. Just about 12 hours ago, Quinn was attacked at a safe house that he keeps elsewhere in Sonata 6 for the purposes of avoiding certain messes that he tends to be in the midst of. Um, Devlin sucks his teeth at that statement but says nothing more. After that attack, we found this in one of the rooms of that safe house, just waiting for somebody to pick it up in the exact state that you found it in. And that's when Devlin decided to call me and finish a deal that we had been closing for some time. Which reminds me that I haven't even introduced myself to you all. And she steps forward to Ava and puts her hand out for a handshake. Interestingly enough, for you to be able to shake her hand, Ava, you'd have to put down the bench. And
Oh, I put down the bench earlier as a show of like control.
Cool. So she puts her hand out for a handshake and says, "My name is Charisse Sharp. I will be taking over Devlin's promotions work in these few hexes for the time being. Suffice it to say that we've all come to the conclusion that Devlin needs a break, if that makes sense. With that being said, that leaves the business of the present clash. Um, it's been on hiatus for several weeks, unto months at this point. Um, there is a clause in the contracts that you all signed that says that you're due for a minor payment in the event that the competition can no longer continue, somewhere in the vein of 4,000 to 6,000 per person. But we're here to offer you something potentially more valuable than that in the event that you can help us solve this problem. Um, We need to know for sure who and why. Um, so Mr. Devlin can live out his retirement in peace, and I can continue the rest of my work unimpeded. Um, he has his hunches, but suffice it to say that Quinn Devlin having a thought is why we're in this mess in the first place. So, here's what I have to offer you all. Truth be told, according to the numbers, you were the first or second pick for the clash anyway, and we're probably never going to actually finish the competition in this case. So, I'm willing to put it in writing that if you can make this weirder problem go away, you can have any deal you want in this industry. Any label, any agent, no one will ever tell you what you make or why. And you will have my full, I will vouch for you anywhere you need me to, so long as we can make this problem go away. Devlin has it on good authority, perhaps the only solid thought that he's had in the last 4 days, that if anyone is capable of actually resolving this, it would be you. I don't know what he saw, but, and Ava, you notice very briefly, like the beginnings of a blush begin and like enter and disappear on her face, as she turns to you and says, "Suffice it to say that I think I've seen enough to put my trust in you all for this. Of course, that deal comes with a hefty monetary prize as well, but also a guarantee that your life in the industry will be um, the most fruitful one that you can imagine. All we need, however you do it, is for Weirder to come off this guy's back."
Alice, are you of age? Can you make a deal like this? Do you even want to make a deal like this? I am a mother, so I'm gonna
Wait,
take this deal because I can
Am I-
probably beat up Ice
I feel like
Ghost.
we need a huddle.
I'm very
away from these two.
confused. How did I become part of this?
Well, I don't know. Like, you just happen to be here, but you're being offered this, and I don't know if you're allowed to be offered this. I'm letting you know, as Andrea's mother, I'm probably gonna do this.
In
for
this
money.
country, I am legally able to sign things without parents. Yes.
Okay. But yeah, could we have a moment? Could we have a moment? I'll get right back to you, dear, but could we have a moment?
You can have as much time as you need. If you need us to leave, here's my number. And she gives you her card with her number. She steps over to, like, one of the corners of the room where now you can see her bending down to get what it looks like a very small music box. None of you have heard any music actually coming from it, but she just kind of like pulls out uh, the turning rod for it, and it just kind of stops generating light. Devlin like is in the middle of saying a thing before he disappears. I will be at your disposal whenever you need it. I can be anywhere that you need within an hour of you calling me. I'm trying to make this my priority at the moment, so you can have me whenever you need. Um, as for the job in question, I should also give you. And she pauses for a moment and then reaches for a small notepad from her pocket, takes out a pen, and writes down an address and a 5-digit number, folds it and gives it to Ava, and says, if you have any more questions or would like to speak about any of the incidents that have already taken place, you should probably speak to these folks whenever you get the chance. And with that, I'll be on my way for you all to deliberate whenever you please. Um, she she kind of nods to Andrea and just steps out. And now it's just the five of y'all.
Hmm. Well, Alice, if you
Oh.
don't want to be part of this, you don't have to be, but you can close the noise, and that's pretty impressive. You'd have my vote if you wanted to be part of a band.
I mean, I suppose you could say, between bands, but I don't think I'd actually understand what this person is asking us all to do. Are we supposed to be like an emergency response team for noise, or?
I think we're about to be ghost band exorcists.
So, yeah, there's this
Well, when you
band.
put it like that, that sounds badass.
We're kind of like Mystery Incorporated, but also like a band. And we don't have a dog.
Yet.
Do we have a van?
Before we get to any of that, we just need to address the fact that Ava, you just met her and you already picked up her number.
Ooh.
I mean, when you lift like this and you look like, no, my daughter's here. We're not having this discussion, actually.
Andrea is rolling her eyes heavily in the corner.
I can have nice things. Listen, we're just this.
I'm not saying you can't. In fact, I'm saying you're very successful at it.
Oh, I mean, I thought for a second that this folded up paper was gonna be her address, and I was like, that's a little much, but you know.
Do you look at the piece of paper?
Oh yeah.
The piece of paper, because you've been in this area long enough, you know, most of the utility addresses in this area already. So you know, just from looking at the address on this piece of paper, that is the address for the firehouse. The other string of numbers you suppose may be someone's badge number.
They're really pushing this like fireman thing, which is fine. I mean, it's better than. But yeah. So I'm going to take this job because money. And also weird ice ghosts are interesting. And maybe we can find out something about what happened to Oliver.
Not missing an opportunity to learn more about the noise, so I'm in.
Nagmat, as you say that, do you still have the envelope in your hand?
Yes.
I would like you to give me an attune roll. How many dots do you have in attune?
Uno dot.
Ah, nice, cool. Your position is risky. Is it risky or is it desperate? Is it risky or is it desperate? Nah, your position is
the
desperate.
kind of question you would love your GM to ask before making you do something.
No, your position is desperate. Your effect is standard. And I will give you +2. Because you have. Well, the +2 is because this is related to a thing that you've had a vision about before. So we're essentially testing your ability to continue having visions.
Ah. Excellent.
Right, so a D12 or D20
right.
+4.
Yep. Beautiful. Perfect. 23.
just hella strain. That moment when your bass roll strained, delightful, cool.
I don't think Nakamura has ever not strained on a tune. I don't think it's physically possible, and I'm happy with this.
Um, you are looking at the photo. You're looking at the photograph in the envelope, and very briefly, you are no longer looking at the photo in the envelope. You are at the airport. Um, you can tell that it's like much later in the evening than it would be at the moment. Like it's like 5 or 6 in the evening where you are now when it was like minutes to noon beforehand. So you get the impression that some time has passed, and that's what kind of clues you in that this is that you are not in the same place anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're trying to get your bearings, trying to determine, well, where am I? You look up and you see ahead of you the window that is in the shot, and you see um, the tail of the plane. And when you walk up to the window to see, well, why is this important? You see that the plane is presently boarding. Um, you can tell like the tail end of passengers have just already gotten on the plane, and the very last two people that you see um, are a tall, tan-skinned man um, and a little girl, maybe 11 or 12, um, who are like laughing at a joke that one of them have told, and then um, when one of the um, attendants at the staircase of the plane is asking for him to show his passport, he briefly cannot find it, and then the girl just kind of opens her purse and takes out both of their passports. And he chuckles a little bit at remembering that she has his passport, and they are given the all clear, and they board the plane, and the door closes. Um, you look back at the terminal where you're standing, and you see just as the uh, pink paisley bandana that was tied on the edge of the bench is being untied, but you don't see who has untied it by the time that you are now out of this vision and back in Ava's apartment.
Are you okay?
I think I just had another vision.
Cool. Um,
Was it relevant to the case that we are apparently undertaking?
that Alice, you
Nagma,
are not obligated to join us on. Very clear.
um, give me 2 seconds to collect my thoughts. Okay, thoughts collected. I think so. And Nagmat will relay what Bren said to the group.
Mm-hmm.
I think while Nachman is relaying this vision, Ava needs to do something. Like this is very. I think Ava starts like because you know those kitchens that have like the high counter, but like it's still clear, you can still see out into your apartment with it.
Mm-hmm.
Ava just walks around and is like, I'm listening, and starts making starts making something sweet.
Okay. Um, I would
Does this
like.
house have a whiteboard anywhere?
Um, I will
No, but I
say.
think she has a cork board. Just saying, like a cork board. She has a weird cork board with red strings.
Nice.
It's new. Yeah, since you've seen her last.
I will say. Andrea has this weird thing. Where like she has like a tablet, like a 22-inch tablet, that has an app that communicates to um like one of the projectors that she has in her bedroom that allows her to essentially just use her tablet and any nearby unconsumed wall as a whiteboard. Um, so if you ask that question aloud, she's like, I could just get my projector and we could move some stuff. What do you need to do?
It's time to start a conspiracy board, except there already is one, but now a new one.
Okay. And she goes in her room. As that happens, all of you notice that you get a ping on your phone. Who's the very first person to look at their phone? Nope.
Probably Alice.
River would check too. If actually no, it's still on silent. Probably I've never said it's been turned off silent. So
yeah,
Alice.
so you did notice. Cool, Alice. Who gets the one message that is not like everybody else's message? You get a message from Ace Fan, which reads, "I'm very sorry, but the situation couldn't be helped. I assure you that this will not be too much trouble. These are good people. Let them keep an eye on you."
All caps. Who are you? 5 exclamation points.
That's a valid question.
This user is no longer online.
Something one of my special abilities is it's in the rider. I can always tell if something in my immediate environment has changed and whether a rival or industry agent is responsible. So did either of those two people who were here do anything to this room?
Nope.
Okay, cool. I noticed this. It is not bugged.
Yes. No bugs, nothing untoward in this room. All they did was give you the letter and leave.
Yeah, Ava's like serving up. Because you can fry plantains pretty fast.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
And so
fried
she's
plantains.
got
I'm so hungry
she's
now.
got fried bananas and she's sprinkling cinnamon on top.
Mm.
And she's just like, please come eat these.
How dare you?
Okay. So
Okay.
You're not allergic to cinnamon, are you, Alice? I'm sorry.
Nope. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, do you
Yes. 100%. I would like to eat something.
please eat.
Thank you.
A banana in her face.
So when I
In
snuck
her own
into
face, not Alice's face. That's rude.
when I
Sorry.
snuck into the trailer of the Ghost guys, werewolf force.
Werewolf?
I remember their name.
Their name is Weirder.
Weirder. They had a sticky note that was basically a kill list of like 6 names in total. One of them was Mr. Devlin. One of them was that frozen apartment that we were in legally. Looking at Alice.
I'm 18, not stupid.
There was someone named Jay Halls. How many of these people are still alive?
I can give you. You know what? Yeah, give me a. Give me a roll to see how you find that information out. Because I think. Hold
To
on.
roll for Google.
Yeah, you're essentially rolling for Google. Give me a study roll.
Sure.
How many dots do you have in study?
I have 2 dots in study.
Nice. Your position is controlled and your effect is limited.
Cool. I'll roll a D12. 13.
13.
Success.
Yeah, 13 is good
Just a
enough.
regular old success.
As far as you can see, you believe that. I mean, as far as you can see, everybody is either dead or in the hospital in critical condition, except for Devlin. There is one other like industry professional, a guy named like Colin Steele, who is presumed dead, but no one's found his body. But the description of the description of the scene and what you've already seen from that apartment building previously gives you the impression that maybe he got broken up into little icy chunks, and is like very beyond dead, ultra dead. So the only person that you can determine on the list that you have seen who is still definitely alive is Devlin.
Well, that narrows down the points of attack. Kind of feels like he should have. I mean, to really amp up the assholery of this guy, really didn't try and save his buddies, it seemed like. Guess I haven't said this out loud, but like, I'm in on all of this. Are we supposed to still be competing, or is this our new job now?
I think the implication was, that we will be hired and then elevated above whatever the fuck we were doing before to have basic musical control over any music that we produce.
Competing in the what? I've been in town for like 2 days.
Oh, do you know
the
about Soundclash?
Soundclash. Yes.
Oh, the band thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poster.
like a magical battle of the bands. We did
Oh,
some
yeah.
like really boss ass symmetry.
I've seen
Shit.
other ones on like Nico Nico and stuff. I didn't know there was one in this town.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't think it'd ever come to Sonata 6 either.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one showed up.
They've been trying to get it running for sure, but it's been postponed for a little bit. If you heard about it at all, it would have been from a few weeks ago.
I think my cousin mentioned something about it.
I mean, there's a lot of footage of it if you want to see. And like Ava, again, like Ava's offering, like if you want to see sort of what set off this new status quo, I think the best video of it, I've gone over it a couple times. And for Nachman and River, Ava looks extremely tired when she says that. Like, well, everybody noticed. Like, she's not trying to hide it. She looks really depressed when she says that. She's gone over it a couple times.
Are you gonna reach for your phone?
Well, she wants to know if Alice even wants to see this, because if she doesn't, she's not gonna put herself through it again.
Alice does want to see it.
Oh yeah, she'll reach for her phone.
Before you do anything,
Mhm.
The minute that you put your hand on your phone starts ringing.
Caller ID. That's a cool caller
Apologies.
ID.
Remember,
Apologies. A car was moving very
Like,
quickly down a
no.
very narrow street. That person is gonna get himself seriously injured. Anyway,
Whoever that was has an aftermarket muffler.
the caller ID is Mrs. Hoshizora.
Ava looks down and she's just like, and she looks straight at Nachmat because Nachmat's the people person. She's like, it's Oliver's mom.
We can't hear you at all.
oh, can you hear me now?
Ah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Should we? Oh, have you spoken to her since?
I spoke to her
haven't-
after it happened. I haven't really.
No.
It's been a hard time.
Yeah.
I haven't really spoken to anybody since the few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Still
No.
ringing.
We can answer. We can answer.
Answer it.
You can answer. Well, I guess we're
Yeah,
not being-
you guys show her the video. I'm gonna answer this, and Ava answers, and is like sort of like gesturing for you guys to like watch it, so she doesn't have to do it.
Andrea,
after
can you pull it up?
Andrea, who is like rummaging through things in her room to find her projector, like shouts through the door, "Yeah, I'll bring it in a bit." Meanwhile, Ava on the phone. You hear a voice. It sounds to you very briefly that, like, you can tell over the phone that Mrs. Hoshizora is like very emotional right now. You can't tell why. You get the impression that she may have been crying before she called you.
Mhm.
And she's like, Ava, I know we haven't spoken in quite some time, but I just kind of wanted to ask if you could come over.
Of course, ma'am. Of course. Is what can we help you with?
I noticed something, and something reminded me of Ollie, and I kind of wanted to see you all because we haven't spoken in a while, and I guess I just wanted to. I don't know. I'll make dinner and we can just chat for a bit. If you're not busy.
Um, I definitely have time for you, ma'am. I definitely have time for you. I just it'll be a little bit till I'm free.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to the others
I'd
and
like
see
that
who's
very
available
much.
for dinner.
Of course. Yes, thank you. Uh, well, you know how to get here. um,
Mhm.
so I guess I'll see you soon.
Yes, ma'am. And Ava, I'll see you soon. And Ava hangs up, and Ava's like, oh my god, it just gonna take a moment to just sort of like sit down on the kitchen floor while everybody
Andrea,
else is doing their business.
Andrea finally emerges from her room with like a very small like box projector, um, uh, her tablet, um, and what was it that River wanted again?
Well, River wanted to write down all of the names and then write down information about them, but now we're going to watch a very traumatic video, question mark.
All right, yes, yes. The projector would be good for that as well. So she comes out, and sees her mom sitting on the phone. Is like, "Ma, uh, you okay?"
Um, just give me a moment. Give me a couple minutes.
Okay. This this is the weirdest type that I've seen all y'all. This is kind of weird. It sets up the projector on the dinner table and faces it against one of the walls. Starts taking off photos so the wall is bare. Um and um connects her phone and her tablet to the projector, and then on the tablet is um immediately bringing up the last A Cordial Eclectic performance of the Clash.
Here's the cool tessellating effect.
Mhm.
Like a kaleidoscope tessellations of Ava's like drums across the stage.
You see like every, this stage is a lot. Alice,
River staring at her phone instead of focusing on the video.
Alice, you have seen some performances since the frequency has occurred in the world, but not a lot of them because not many people are as gifted as they can be. But this immediately strikes you as like an incredibly like magical performance in that sense. Like you're seeing stars literally moving on stage. You see Ava's like fractalized self performing several times on stage. Um, you see what looks like a moon about to collide with um the performance space, and then you see like these um spectral hands as large as the stage itself um come down and um lift one of the performers, the only person that you have not met today, um into its arms and into the heavens and disappearing. And then the stage starts getting very bright and very noisy. You hear the audience start like cheering very loudly. And then the video cuts off.
So that's why there's a help wanted sign out for y'all, huh? Oh God.
Yeah.
Wanted?
I think Ava sobs from her part on the that is a very it is not a good joke. And Ava just had to talk to his mom. So Ava just sobs from where she is on the kitchen floor. Ava's not in a great place right now. In fact, Brandon, can I just take some stress?
Oh my god! Just have one stress. I feel like it only makes sense.
I'm at 5 stress now.
I would like to add
One
one
actually
stress
has
as well.
special power.
I just want to make sure I understand this. That's what happened at your last show, and now people are coming in to try to get you to do more of that.
We're very good at what we do.
Well, yes, the music was excellent, but I have been... And she just gestures at herself and says, I just stopped being an idol. I know something about people not having your best interests at heart, and those people who were here, they don't.
Definitely not. But it seems like their interests are elsewhere, and they don't care how to.
Their interests
don't
are
care
elsewhere,
about
and if
where
that,
we end
if that
up.
happens to you again, they're going to be okay with it.
I think
Yes.
Ava drags herself up on the kitchen counter and it's just like rubbing on her face, and it's just like, yeah. And now and Ava on her phone pulls up pictures of the ice houses and of Weirda, like with the pictures that people had of their performance. Yeah, and they're trying to save their own lives from this. And I hate that they don't care if this happens again. But I don't understand really what happened. And all of this really started when these three showed up. So I have to try and make some sense of this for me. I lost my job because I got connected with this, and I can't get that back. So my current survival instincts are pretend it's not happening, and maybe these three think that I got in their way and they come after me and my daughter, or dive deeper and fight back. And that's what this music feels like to me. It feels like fighting back. So even if they don't give a hell, they don't care what happens to me. I care what happens. And so if I'm going to push back anyway. If I get to take their money while I'm doing it and push it to where it needs to go, then I'm going to do it. It sounds nasty. It sounds rude and manipulative. But that's what I got to be right now to survive.
In the end, this is a very double-edged sword of a situation we're in. They don't care about us, but that means we get to do whatever we want.
Yeah, Ava actually did just say exactly what she needed to get Alice on board.
Nice.
And Alice looks up at to the team and says, "Let's take their money and fuck them over."
Hell yeah.
I was going to do this, maybe not deal with weird part, but I haven't stopped trying to learn more about this. Now I can do that without getting in trouble with the weird magic cops. So
Ava.
I just quit my band. I ran away. I am 18 years old. I am in a country where I can legally sign contracts. It's time for my teenage rebellion phase.
Yes.
Let's go shopping.
Oh, they didn't pay me enough for that at the last group.
Then
And we'll find what we can out of the bargain bin.
Welcome back to America. I'm sure I can. I don't know. She seemed like she really likes me. I feel like we can get some advance funds.
Oh Lord. Ava, I would like you to do a thing for me.
Yeah.
I would like you to give me a 1d20 fortune roll.
Oh no. I didn't ask for this. I'm just
Fortune
cool. It's a
rolls.
12.
Yeah, 12 is enough.
Fuck.
Anything higher would have done other things. 12 is enough for a thing. Which is, while this conversation is happening, Andrea is at her tablet, like eagerly typing away. Like after you had put up those images of the other houses, like she briefly pauses for a bit while you all are talking, and then gets an idea and starts like tapping very loudly on her tablet. And then she pulls up an article from an entertainment website and puts that up on the wall. It is like one of those weirdly overindulgent obituaries that entertainment sites will write for like people in the industry. That is like, this person is responsible for making X career, etc., etc., etc. And we are so sad. We are so sorry for their loss. But in it, there is a paragraph that Like when Andrea puts it up on the wall, she scrolls down a bit to one of the middle paragraphs and highlights it. Um, and it mentions that this producer who he had never like really interacted with before, um, worked with Quinn Devlin on some of the early tracks that made Mini Blue's career. And like Andrea notices that and goes, "Hmm, I feel like," and then she like looks up one of the other names on the list that tries to like do a background search on them and finds out that they also worked for Mini Blue and puts that up on the wall as well and goes, um I mean, there are no coincidences in this place, right, Ma? But I don't know what that means. That just kind of stood out to me. They don't have anything in common except for that. I'm still trying to find out more about the others, but maybe this matters.
Definitely should look into that. I don't how Nachmat, you computers, right?
You
I can.
computers.
I can research things. Yes, if that is.
Listen, I think I said Ava's in her like early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
um Latina, so they don't look it, but less indulgent with technology as the younger generation is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, yes, we all computers, I think.
You all computer better than me. Mhm. um I can work a smartphone, kind of. um
It's a sophisticated piece of technology.
yeah, but making a big computer do what I want. Mm.
um, Nachmat, what are you looking at right now?
Nachmat was probably just kind of processing this. I think Nachmat hasn't had a vision since we've like
Mm-hmm.
done the clash, right? And the clash hasn't been for a few months, so
Mm-hmm.
Nachmat is kind of just taking notes. I think trying to figure out like why now, like what's different about this than all the other situations they've been doing research that makes this cause division, but not those.
Mm-hmm. Is that a thing that you want to roll for?
Sure.
Okay, give me an attune roll.
Okay.
Your position is desperate. Your effect is great.
What does a 12 get me?
Um, 12 is success? Minus
Yep.
success? Let me check.
Right
12.
under the stunning
Aha.
success.
Right. Um. um. Hmm. You look at the photograph again, like you are like in this moment of attempting to process this. You glance at um the photograph again, and you notice that the photograph is moving. Um, whether it's for just for you or not, you highly suspect that it may be just for you, but you can't tell at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When you move the photograph, it is like moving a camera in 3D in the space. Um, for like a pocket of time from when the photograph was taken, like what seems to you in this moment to be like 30 to 45 seconds. So if you move it, you can see um, that man and that child go board the plane again. If you move it, you can see the bandana on the bench, and you can see someone take it off the bench. In this moment, as you're just kind of staring at it, you suspect that either accidentally or purposefully, that's the part that you don't know, but you feel like something about Devlin's situation in particular is either potentially attracting noise or is like so magically volatile in and of itself that it makes the attempt to interact with it magically so much more easier and therefore it's therefore more volatile. That is a hypothesis you'll have to test, but you highly suspect that it has something to do with Devlin.
Of course it does.
I mean, that's what happens when you're a reckless capitalist. So yeah.
You heard it here first, kids. Don't do capitalism.
Not even once.
Just what you need to survive.
So you don't know what that means. You don't know what to do about it. And whether it's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing is a thing that you'll have to verify. But you do know that it has something to do with Devlin. That if something about Devlin does not change or improve, this will probably continue to happen and will probably have even worse consequences at some point in the future.
Of course.
So this all relies on fixing a man.
Oh Lord.
Can't believe we're the plot of a bad rom-com.
As that's happening, either Nachmat or River give me an observe roll. Desperate limited.
You want to go for a river? Then I'll get him out of rolling.
I can roll. Observe. I have lots of observe.
How many dots do you have in observe again?
I have 2 dots in observe.
Okay.
I'm a very form-focused character. And I'm going to roll a d20.
Okay.
That's still a 5. Love those ones on a frickin' d20. This game is rigged. Still a minor success. Unless ones are always a fail.
No, a minor success. You notice something flash on screen on the projector. You notice something pop up very quickly on the screen, but you notice that Andrea has closed it before you can see it. You have no idea what it is.
Oh, what? Okay. There was, something on that screen. What was on this? What was just there? What did you just close?
Oh, no. It's just a message from one of my friends from school. That doesn't need to come up right now. Anything else you wanted to look up? You wanted
What do you
check...
mean?
Huh?
What message do you have to hide from?
No, it's just a message from one of my friends, Ma. It's not a problem. Ava, give me an observe roll.
Alice
Desperate.
is underparented, so she's very uncomfortable watching someone else be parented.
Desperate great +2. Oh Lord.
All right, let's go. I have one observed from being eagle-eyed. Nope, not eagle-eyed this time, son. That's a minor success.
Yeah.
Another pop-up comes up on screen. It's gone before you even notice that it was there. You just notice something flicker on screen.
All right.
Well, okay.
I'm not that person. I'm not gonna take your phone from you. I'm not gonna look into it. You look at me and you tell me right now that whatever is going through your phone right now is safe and is not going to expose us to ghost ice witches.
Uh,
And you promise me.
Give me a sway roll, Ava. Your position is desperate. Your effect is
Whoops.
limited.
So was that a 9? Okay, it was supposed to. It is an 11. I accidentally I pressed equal instead of 2.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's 11.
11 is a minor success? No.
No, I think that's the
Normal
threshold for
right.
regular success.
Regular success. Okay, regular success is good. You say that. And Andrea is like briefly very perturbed. Like you can tell, like for a moment, like she was going to say something and then stops and then goes, okay, I can't promise that, but trust me, it's fine.
Why can't you promise that? Why?
It,
What? It feels like a very easy promise to not bring ghost ice witches. Am I?
okay.
I'm not being an unreasonable mother here, am
Wait,
I?
hold on. And she reaches for her phone instead of a tablet, starts typing very quickly, puts it down.
It's a pretty low bar.
She gets a message. She gets a message very quickly, starts typing again. And you can see now that she's looking like very eager, like she's looking very intensely between the phone and you. Like, not so much like, she doesn't seem like she doesn't seem like she, how do I put this? She's not shocked. Like, the look on her face is not the look of somebody who has just been caught trying to hide something from her mother, but the look of somebody who is very worried about something. And she's typing, and she's typing, and she gets another message, and she keeps typing again. And then she taps something on her phone and swipes it to the projector, and it comes up on the wall. She has just started a video call with Ace Fan.
I need
and
words.
It is presently ringing.
Oh, I need words.
Answer it.
Oh.
Boomst.
Ava's about to. This is her underage daughter. Ava is about to fucking track this man down.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Right, so this wasn't supposed to be my business, right? And then they realized who you were, and one thing led to another. And all I've been doing is making sure that when you're not supposed to be somewhere, if the cops are going to cause some trouble, they would let me know, because they didn't want you to know that I knew and make a thing about that was it. And then today happened, right? That thing with Miss Lady and Devlin. And the video call opens. And what you see is like it's not like a camera view is not on screen at the moment, but instead you see like this weird kind of fractalized image. It looks like a series of triangles kind of like shifting on screen, and in the center of the screen is a series of embossed triangles that make the shape of a face. And you hear someone on the other end with like a voice changer on. Like you hear them clear their throat and go, right, a cordial eclectic. It's so good that I can finally speak to you, although the present situation is not what we expected. I and like they pause for a minute and then continue. And like you can see their pixelated, they can see like their fractalized eyes shift on screen. They're like, um, I have been coordinating with your daughter Andrea to ensure that you weren't getting in any trouble. That's what I think she called so I would assure you that she is not in danger. I've been doing this for you. Alice Rivan Nachmat, give me either an observe or a tune roll. Um, risky extreme.
I'm rolling a d20 for observe. Yeah. A 9. That's still a regular success.
Okay, you are about to see the edges of a thing. Um, Alice, are you going to roll? 6. Yeah,
Yeah.
you will see the edges of a
Let's
thing.
roll our observe. And that should still be +4, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 14.
Ah, okay, cool.
I'm so good at observing things.
Right. On scales of observation, Amber, you see something flicker on screen. You can't tell what it is, but you can tell that it is that whatever you could have seen could have potentially been what is actually taking place wherever Ace Fan is present. Like an actual camera view, or just whatever is not being distorted from this image. River, you see that flickering more so than Nakmat does. And you can vaguely tell that this is like a dimly lit room somewhere. But you can't tell much more about it because you only see a little bit more than Ahmad does, but you do see that little bit more. You know there is a room somewhere where someone is. Alice, you look at this thing and like you can tell that it's flickering even more so than everybody else does. They see it happen like once or twice. You are seeing something strange about the entire thing. And it gives you the impression that if you observe more closely, you will determine something more so than everybody else does. And that just kind of like naturally just kind of like manifests in your brain as I should take a picture of this and see what weird things are happening in the picture. And you take a picture just as it starts to flicker. And in that picture on your phone, very, very clearly, you can see the room looks very poorly lit. There's no light on in the room. The curtains are very thick, but you can vaguely tell that the walls may be orange or lilac, somewhere within that range. You can tell that it is someone's bedroom. You can tell that there is a poster on the wall. You can very vaguely see that it is there, but you can't really make out what is in it without making adjustments to the photo. And you can tell just from the photo, just from the look of the person who is on the camera in that photograph, that the person that you are all speaking to right now is a teenager.
It's frickin' Wade from Kim Possible.
I feel like the texting patterns gave that away. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but like
No, I was.
This is actually
Ava
sort
was-
of reassuring to Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? Another teenager is less likely to do terrible harm to them than a grown-up is.
Mm,
Arguably.
yeah,
No,
they give her
I
emotional
kinda agree.
damage.
There you go.
Yeah,
Right. So this
they're
is
not going to get us killed. They're just going to ruin our self-esteem.
given the hold on, back it up. Given the context, given the situation.
right. So again, that extra bit of information is information that presently only Alice knows. Meanwhile, Ace Fan is still speaking. And they go, so I have observed that you all had an opportunity to speak with Miss Sharp and Quinn Devlin about their present situation. I think it would be a good
Yes.
deal, not only so you all can actually grow in the industry and perhaps save Sonata 6 from itself with your work, but suffice it to say that it's a big mess and I think that someone should clean it up. If you need anyone to assist you in that regard, you can let me know. I assure you it will be fine. I've helped you so far, haven't I? Give me Ava.
Yes.
Give me a 1d20 fortune roll.
Okay.
This either happens or it doesn't happen.
Bam.
It
19.
happens.
Oh no.
um
This is the only game where I'll see a 19 and be like,
the image finally comes down. Like the fractal triangle shape in front of whatever is happening on screen finally comes down.
it's gonna be a student.
The minute it comes off, the room suddenly actually becomes bright. Like it just turns the light on in the room. It's a lilac room. There is a poster for Mini Blue on the right hand side of the screen. Very thick brown curtains in front of the only window in this room. Frilly purple bed sheets on the bed nearby. Ava.
Yeah.
Remember that time that you had to perform against Stella and the horoscopes?
Yeah.
The girl in front of you that you see right now is one of your classmates. This is
One of my
Estelle.
students.
Yeah. This is Estelle, otherwise known as Stella from Stella and the Horoscopes.
Ava's just like trying to like get through a sentence because Ava's gone from like, who is this creepster hacker stereotype creeping on my daughter, trying to talk to my daughter. This is a student.
Yeah.
This is one of my students doing something incredibly dangerous, sending dangerous technology, like involving themselves in something wild. And like Ava is like on the fritz. Like she's staring and she's like, ha, ha. And then she looks at Nakhmat and like, no, specifically Nakhmat, because like I think Nakhmat was nearby when like Ava was trying to like comfort Stella, and is just like, ha, ah, ah.
So Estelle looks up at the like lights in her room, looks back at her
Hold on, Brendan.
computer.
Ava puts a hand up and it's just like, ah, and then looks at Nakhmat because she needs confirmation.
Wait, what's happening?
Like she's putting her hand up to like
No,
stop
like
anything that's
she's-
and looking at
she's just like,
Nakhmat.
Is something wrong? Do I need...
And just looking.
Yeah, no, you're seeing this right. That I mean, that tracks. Ispan was kind of texting like someone not of your age.
Wait, what? And like she's looking at a computer, like typing very furiously.
Yeah, that
Meanwhile,
there.
Andrea is also typing very furiously. And then Estelle looks at the camera, gasps, and then like slams her fist on her keyboard, and like the call disconnects.
Well, that was an interesting phone
Um,
call.
Andrea is like glancing out of the corner of her eye at all of you and very slowly inching her way towards her bedroom.
Yeah, yep, that's right. Please go. Please go.
You,
I can't. I can't right now. I will later. We can talk about this later. Please go.
and she goes into her room.
Okay. Young women are capable of anything. Young women should be capable of anything and to be able to do what they want. Except do hard spy missions? I don't know. Maybe I'm old fashioned. And Ava's like pacing her apartment now.
River, who snuck into the apartment like first, I think, of everyone, also tries to just kind of hide now.
Hey, like, not to be like that, but what did I just get recruited for? I mean, I understand she's your daughter, but I do think that maybe it is slightly unfair that you're encouraging me to be on board here and not her. Like, I don't want to overstep into your whole family thing, Ms. Perron. I understand you're worried about your daughter.
So right.
I'm just saying there's a little bit of a double standard here.
I rolled a
So-
15 on my sneak, so I'm one with the wall. Just gonna get that out there.
Wow.
Oh,
River
Alice,
is no
you're
longer in
so
the room.
right. You're so right. I have never seen if my daughter can do magic. Oh, you're very right. I'm just also very. I went from like probably I was literally about to see if I could use percussion to transport into what I thought would be an older man's room and knock him upside the head. And then it wasn't that. And I think my whole vibe, that's what you could say, right? Vibe? My whole vibe was knocked out of balance. But you're right. You're right. I need ice cream. Do you want ice cream?
Always?
Ava's like, Ava's gonna go to her kitchen. She's just Brendan, can I take another stress?
Oh my god! Yes, you may have this. How much stress are you at right
I
now?
have 6 now.
Cool.
Ooh,
lovely.
only one more and you get a different ability.
I think I get a different ability now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you have it now.
Oh no, 6 or less. No, 6 or less.
Yeah.
Over 6.
Right, yes, you are still in the right place. Okay, cool. A reminder that you've still been invited to Mrs. Hoshizora's place, so maybe y'all should.
Oh yeah, no. Ava's like, all right. So Alice, quick rundown. As you can see, we've been through some shit over this past week. I've been through some shit right now. Our bandmate's mother has called me, and the outcome of that phone call is she was reminded of her son who has disappeared and wishes to have dinner. Now, one, I am not going to force anyone to have to join me, least of all you who doesn't have anything to do with this. So I was going to make the offer that I could go to dinner and the 3 of you could investigate this mini blue thing that apparently my daughter knows and has been pulling up with Ace Fan, who is my student. Estelle was my student. I'm not even her teacher anymore. I can't be mad. I can't be mad about any of this. And she has pulled out this giant tub, like those, the Walmart tubs of like Neapolitan ice cream. And it's just like she's just like hulked like 3 huge scoops into a bowl, and she puts that down and she's like, "This is for you, Alice." And then she grabs the whole tub and just walks over to their silver bench and sits the fuck down and is just like,
um, you sit on the bench,
"Oh god."
and the bench starts
Oh.
screaming.
I can't. I think Ava yells at it, "Shut up!"
River uses her pin tie to make it shut up. So it seems like it worked. I turned the
Wow.
screaming into just like calming elevator music.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give you that. That's good looking out for your friend.
What was Alice gonna say?
Alice is momentarily distracted by the fact that we can all now hear the girl from Ipanema playing.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like looking over her giant bowl of ice cream at Ava and goes, I definitely think you should have emotional support in this situation, but I also think that it would probably be not good to introduce me to the mother of your raptured bandmate.
That's
Just because
probably what
Hi,
I'll go
Oliver's
with.
parents. This is Alice. This is the person we've gotten in our band to replace Oliver, your
Exactly, exactly. Yes, what Nakamat said.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, no,
I
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
think
You
that's
should not.
the
No.
energy we want to bring to this situation. So I'm volunteering for the investigation squad.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. And then just like ice cream. just just depressed ice cream eating. And she's just like, I wouldn't begrudge any of you not going. But I have been talking to Oliver's mother because I felt like I felt like it was owed. I felt like I had to. And because it's another, she's a mom. And again, like I would not begrudge you at all if you guys wanted to spend time doing weird ice murder investigations for weird ice witch ghosts bands while I just go have dinner tonight.
Okay, you hear from the walls.
Jesus.
Alice had previously harbored like vague notions of how, because she's an idol, at some point in the future, she was probably going to marry some like minor bland faced TV guy and have some minor bland faced babies. Nah, nah. If this is what being a mom does to people, Alice is officially now child free. She is
That's
committed.
That's good. Ava supports it. Ava loves her daughter. Ava supports a childless majority.
Okay, so as you all have come to the conclusions of your assignments for the rest of the day, and Ava is very slowly, sorrowfully digging into this pint of ice cream, we slowly pan away from the apartment further into the center of the city, where, for our prologue, because I like prologues, we are moving very slowly towards one of the Sonata 6 offices of Lightspeed Promotions, which is slash was the promotional branch that was responsible for this year's Clash. The building is presently empty. No one has had to come into the office for several days because they're not doing any work. But there is a large hole through one of the glass double doors. Um, and as the imagined camera of this game pans through that hole and into all of the past all of the empty cubicles of this space, it notices one lone person, um, 30 something year old man, stepping out of an office. He has just like gotten like he's just taken a folder off of a desk in that office and is like briefly cursing himself that he had to come all the way back just to get this document. And then he hears something in the building. Most of the lights are off. He just really came to get this thing and leave. He can still see, so he notices that the window is broken. He's like, what the hell? He hears that sound again. The sound of like something blowing, like a strong breeze coming from somewhere. Somewhere in this building, very, very low and very far away, Blondie's Call Me starts playing. And he's like, is anyone else here? No one answers. He reaches for his car keys, makes sure that they're in his pocket, takes it out, looks at it, makes sure that it's real in his hand, goes, fuck this shit, I should be home, and makes it for the door, and then slips on something that he cannot see. He gets back up, looks down at the floor at where he slipped. Looks fine to him. Hears that blowing sound again. The song gets even louder. He turns around, and a hand touches his shoulder. The hand is pure white, almost as if it is very, very cold. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session of Soundclash Clampdown. How do you all feel about everything that has just transpired?
And I wrote Ava a song.
That's great.
I'm definitely gonna want to hear that later. But I'm gonna ask each of you how did you feel about tonight's session? Starting with Alice, you have now witnessed all of the weird drama that takes place in this group. How does Alice feel about these things?
As someone who is deeply disconnected from her family at best, Alice is very uncomfortable with how much like emotional family stuff she has just witnessed. She also thinks like, this is such a bad idea, but everything I've been doing lately is a bad idea, so let's just keep this rolling. It is time to make some bad decisions because she, had producers and managers preventing her from making bad decisions for the last few years, preventing her from making any decisions, actually, including good ones and fun ones. So she's a little bit drunk on her own freedom.
Cool.
Chaos.
That I'm gonna delight in exploring that even more. River, who's presently hiding, I don't know why.
To avoid emotional.
Yes. Are you also having emotions at the moment?
I mean, that video was very affected her greatly, but it's like it seems she's taking off, shaking after her player who will hide those emotions deep down inside and not tell anybody about them and instead hide in a wall. Not a little bit more than old Katie would do, but yes.
Mhm.
Like
You have
the
the ability
rapturing
to
was
just...
very traumatic.
Yes, of course.
And she wants some ice cream, but it's too awkward to leave the wall now. So
Oh God. Nakmat, how do you feel? You've just had another vision. How is that going over for Nakmat at the moment?
Honestly, not that bad. Like, I feel like Nakma doesn't get weirded out that much by the magic stuff. He was weirded out by the fact that it happened now, and so they were processing that, right? Because they weren't expecting it. But outside of that, Nakmat's doing pretty good. Nakmat was probably enjoying the drama a little bit more than one should enjoy it.
Duly noted.
Nakmat is definitely half a mind to like text Andrea and like instigate and or tease a little.
Oh my God. I feel like that would be a terrible decision. This is not
Correct.
me. This is not me saying whether you should or shouldn't do anything.
Oh no, I mean, it's
the
because
shenanigans
it is a terrible
are.
decision.
I welcome the shenanigans.
Because it is a terrible decision is precisely why Nakmat is considering doing it. Nakmat is a bad decision machine.
Yes, this is true.
I like how the party has split for next session into two bad decision makers, a feeling hider, and all the feelings.
I'm going to have so much fun exploring those feelings. By the way, that dinner is going to be a lot, as it should be.
It will be.
But until we get to that session, I will ask each of you to please let all the lovely people in chat know who you are, what you do, and where these lovely people can find you next, starting with Victor.
All right, guys, you've seen me tonight. I am Victor. I am a podcaster. I do an actual play podcast for Interstitial or Hearts Intertwined, in which we are heading towards Endgame. So it's been we've been putting out a lot of one shots. It's a perfect time to catch up with the story because we are going to be plowing through that finale soon. I am a game designer. You can find the stuff that I've designed on itch.io. And most importantly, I'm about to be a published writer, but I need your help. We are doing a funding campaign, a crowdfunding campaign. That's what it's called, for Splat 3 Touched. So a big part of TTRPGs are personal and intimate connections formed between characters and players alike. So this zine is going to have a bunch of issues a bunch of essays that cover intimacy in games, from all spectrum of from Ace, working on how you can make Ace people feel more comfortable at the table by maybe working with like sliders of wholesomeness versus intimacy and stuff like that. And because intimacy is not just romantic connections, all the way to how you can include sex in your games in a safe and fun way by maybe working to abstraction instead of like fading to black, and making things, working with like adjectives and stuff. And I think it's a really great project. I'm really eager to write with it. I'm going to be working on how intersectionality and how it's honesty and vulnerability make for a great environment for talking about intimacy and affection in games. And we're halfway through with 1 week left to go. And I will drop a link in chat. I can mute that, right? It's already there. I love you, Brandon.
Yes. I wanted to wait until you were finished to ask to make sure if that was the right link. So I'm glad that's the right link. So please check that out because that sounds really cool. Next, Iori.
Kusano Iori, Clarion West 2017, they, them pronouns. I was playing Alice, one of our melodies today. You can find me on Twitter at Iori Kusano or at kusanoiori.com. Also, I have begun playing Master Duel now that it is on mobile. Join me on my Yu-Gi-Oh journey. I am at 675-877-938. Fight me!
I'm gonna ask you for that number again because we're gonna do a thing. One of these days, we're actually gonna stream Master Duel on Twitch because I've been playing Master Duel and I am thoroughly having a headache from the experience. But still, that will happen very soon.
Yeah, welcome to the wonderful world of Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have to read a flash fic every time you activate a card effect.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is a lot, and I'm very sorry. But thank you so very much. Next, Katie.
Hello, everyone. I've been Katie Chin playing River Song, she, her pronouns all around for you tonight. You can find me on Twitter and the links posted in the chat. If you live in Toronto, you can find me doing stand up in random places. Good luck trying to find me. I'm as stealthy in person as I am in game. If you want to hear more of my voice, I'm on the Valence podcast, an urban fantasy audio drama. And if you want to catch a game I've made, you can go to macaronix.itch.io, where I have a game called But Dracula. Only the great clown Pagliacci can slay this vampire. The thing is, you are the great clown Pagliacci. Thank you.
Thank you. Every time I hear about Bud Dracula, I lose my mind. It is actually quite brilliant. So yes. And last but not least, Amber.
Hello. I'm Amr Emraz. I was here today as Nahmat they, he pronouns. And you can find me on Twitter at Emraz. That's the main place that you can keep an eye out on all future updates about my work, whether it be on TRPG performance or.
Amber, you're
writing
coming
or
in
all
really
that
soft,
jazz.
sweetheart.
What?
Sorry, you were coming in like super soft.
Just
Oh.
a little bit.
Yeah, I see
kinda-
that now. Zoom was not picking me up. Okay, is this better? There
Yeah.
we go.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah. So, should I start again, or where did I drop off?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, cool. Perfect. Hi, I'm Amr Amaraz. I was here as the lovely Nahmat, the bad decision machine. We both use they, she pronouns, and you can catch me on Twitter at Amaraz, which is the main place to keep up to date with all my TTRPG stuff and writing, whether it be for performance or for games. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Thank you. And as for me, I have been your humble stage manager this evening, Brandon O'Brien. My pronouns are he, him, or they, them. I made this game for various definitions of the word made, which imply that it is done. You can find some of my other game stuff on therisingtides.itch.io. And you can support my game design and writing work by subscribing to my Patreon, patreon.com/therisingtides. But otherwise, that you can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/therisingtides, where I have a lot of Kamen Rider opinions. Spend a lot of time geeking out about television, talking about more of the process of making Soundclash, and letting you know when I stream on twitch.tv/therisingtides, which I will be doing on Monday, playing some Destiny 2 before The Witch Queen comes out, and sometime later this week where I will fight Iori on Master Duel, but we will determine when that happens very soon. So yeah, that's... Oh yes, and since people keep reminding me, Can You Sign My Tentacle is still a book that you can read, which you can find out more about at !tentacle. It is present, the first poem in that book is presently up for a Rising Award, which I am very hype about, even though, like, I always have a poem nominated for a Rising Award, but the Rising Award is really, really neat, and I always really dig all of the cool stuff that is nominated every year, and I'm very flattered to be in that space again. Also, Can You Sign My Tentacle is on the nomination list for the Bram Stoker Award, which is also very cool. So this is all to say that it is a very cool book that I think that you would really enjoy if you're in the mood for reading poems about the gods of the Cthulhu mythos, asking rappers for their autographs. So definitely please check that out. And with that, I think that we have said all that we need to say this evening, so I will let all these lovely people enjoy the rest of their insert time zone here. So please say good night to everyone in chat, everyone. As I press some buttons and come over here to thank you all again for joining us for yet another session of Soundclash the Clampdown. Things are getting weirder and weirder still, but I'm very excited to see where we go from this point onward. Um, we didn't get to show off some of the cool things that that the new character sheets do yet, but that's coming up very soon. Especially considering that Ava decided to take stress, just like hold some stress. I'm like my game master heart is in glee that that happened. So I'm very excited for our next few tier games, which you will find out more about very very soon. But um as for tonight, again, thank you so very much, first and foremost, to Arvan Eleron for giving us the opportunity to have this content on this channel yet again. Thank you. I did a lot of tinkering recently, updated OBS just to make sure that things were okay, and now my CPU is no longer overheating anytime I open OBS. So thank you so very much again for giving us the opportunity to do cool things on this channel. Thank you again to the mods, Arudinel X4 and the Triffid Emats, for being, as Greg consistently says, the best in the business. Thank you again for making commands as well, which totally wasn't necessary, but I'm so very flattered that you like all the cool things that all of us are doing and are willing to encourage people to fight Iori and Master Duel. So thank you so very much for that. And thank you so very much for everybody who came to watch tonight's stream. Abdui, Actual Factual, hey! Hi Andrew, I hope that you enjoyed it. Amaraz, Big Damn Judge, Crit Twitch, Garlic Tofu, Jet Lee 9991, Jinai Kusano Iori, La Kaylee, Macaroni KTX, Mrs. Dunsill, Prince Justin, Sophie Cal, the Sparkly Wallflower, and Villain Vicencio. And I'm sure that I've missed a couple of people who may have passed through earlier in the stream. But if you were present, thank you so very much, and I hope that you enjoyed what you saw. Again, a reminder that you can support this channel and all the cool things that happen on this Twitch channel in myriad ways, including by following Greg on Twitter, at which you can find the link for at !arvtweets, by joining the Discord server !arvcord, and having wonderful chats with all of the lovely people in this community, all of whom are really neat, and you would definitely benefit from spending some time digitally with them rather than in all of the other terrible places on the internet. !arv shop to find all of the cool merch that you can wear and purchase to support this channel. !arv Treon to support the Patreon that allows all of these cool things to take place on this channel in the first place. !Speculate to support the Speculate podcast and all of the lovely Speculate content that also takes place on this channel. For more information about the cool things that Gregory A. Wilson himself makes, !Icarus for the Icarus and Gelneck graphic novels, which are definitely worth your time and attention. !Greyshade KS for more information about the Greyshade trilogy and all of the other deliciousness that will come up from that very soon. I am very excited for you all to see more about that. It's actually very good. I'm not just being Greg's friend at this moment. I guarantee you're really gonna enjoy Greyshade. Library for Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library, which your support of which not only it does a lot of is not only very supportive to Greg in particular, but reminder that a member of A Cordial Eclectic, Amaraz, is actually in that book as well. So if you want to support that book, you're also giving some support to Amber's writing work and the game design work as well. So definitely do that. A reminder that you can support me and the design work of Soundclash the Clampdown at my own Patreon, patreon.com/therisingtides. Suffice it to say that I kind of really need it in the moment. Times have been kind of hard, but I'm very glad that I get to be able to share this very cool thing with you all. I'm very glad that I get to show you what it looks like in development and get to play it with all of these cool people who love making randomly volatile decisions at any one moment, because it's the best thing in the world for a GM to have players who are eagerly pushing the buttons of the game whenever they get the chance. it's a blessing for me um in the process of working to make the game better, and it's also just as a GM, I just love the experience of knowing everybody's leaning into 100% volatile decisions all the time. So, thank you so very much again for joining us this evening. While I drink some more water so I don't die. A reminder that there is nothing on this channel on Monday, but um, there should be, if I am not mistaken, some cool things happening on Tuesday, which I am going to remind myself of right now. Just to make sure that we know everything that's happening this week. No content on Monday, but on Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST, Adventures in Middle Earth, Erebor Adventures, and nominations for the Patreon Fueled Chat Shows and Game of the Month should be taking place around that same time as well. So, not only should you hang out with all the lovely people playing AIME, which is a lovely cast of very brilliant people playing quite a lovely game, but if you want to have a say in what Greg torches himself with in March, definitely check that out. Check out the Patreon Fueled Chat Shows and Game of the Month as well. And then at 4 EST on GOG.com, Pen and Pixels Talisman Adventures, which you definitely don't want to miss as well. As for me, on Monday I will be streaming sometime Monday evening, most likely 6 or 7 EST, I will be playing Destiny 2. Just the last dregs of free Destiny content before the Witch Queen opens. I'll be playing with a friend of mine. So definitely join me on Monday if you want to support my streams as well, because that's going to be a lot of fun. And that should be it for this evening, I believe. So, without further ado, I thank you again for joining us this evening. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful rest of February 2022, as we are almost to the end of the month. And I hope that you keep the frequency in your heart. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.